Hi guys, my name is Borrodante. Let's read some comments. Boro, you better do another reading comments and answer my very interesting question, or I will slap your head. Well, alrighty then. Oh, you wrote a lot of them. Do you listen to music while working on a painting? If so, does the music you listen to change depending on the painting's subject matter? It definitely does, but it doesn't mean that if I paint something scary, I'm gonna listen to scary music. It's not really dependable like that. It's just something that impresses me in the moment and makes me see things. Inspiring music. You should paint what Jerry looked like before he lost his flesh and was a skull. Was he a wizard, a warrior, or just a simple pig farmer? LOL. I think Jerry used to be a little kid in some fancy school where they made them eat rats. That is, if you still haven't figured out the connection of the names. Okay, so I may have asked a ton of questions. Yes, you did. How do you start a freelance career? You and I are the same age. I've had a few jobs, but not much with drawing. Any advice for me, brother Boro? Okay, I usually don't give career-related advices because I don't really have one. My career is YouTube career, which is still in its very beginning. This is my main income, what I'm doing right now. Of course, I do get occasional commission work because of this promotion of myself with the channel, but this is literally the only source of commissions I have, this YouTube channel. So this is my answer to it. Maybe start a YouTube channel or start any kind of vlog thing, work for it for a while, and it will pay off with the audience. Therefore, you will build up some kind of reach for people and the reach of people for you in order to get the commission work. One thing I think is really important if you're a freelancer, you talk about looking for work on the internet. One thing I can say about the internet is that the main mistake you can make as an artist trying to promote yourself is spreading your energy all over the internet. Like you paint one artwork and then you spend 2 days posting it on DeviantArt, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the other art-related networks, Behance, CG Society, ArtStation, and so on and so forth. Many people go ahead and do that. They just post and post and post everywhere, the same artwork. There's no real point to that. And you're spreading your energy and your audience all over the place, which is not a good idea. First of all, because you just get tired of it and you don't do a good thinking about how to actually promote yourself in one place, and you pretty much do a sloppy job everywhere. If you would push your energy and your whole artwork in just few 2-3 network stops, but including, like in my case, I post on Instagram and on Patreon right now. Even if you do a perfect work, promoting every artwork of yours the best way in every social network when you have like 8 of them, in many of those networks, same people follow you, like a huge percentage of it is gonna be the same people. And the problem with that is that some people will just like and share your artwork in one network, another people will be sharing and liking in another network. No one is gonna go through all the networks and like and share your artwork from all of those networks. There is no sense in that. And because of that, what you do is you're spreading the potential of your own already gained audience through all these networks. And what happens is any network has an algorithm that reacts to amount of likes and any kind of feedback you get on each of your artwork. And if you spread it for a lot of networks, you minimize that feedback in each of the networks. You're basically not making any impact in any of these networks. If you just post into one network, anyone who follows you will be following you there, and they will be liking and sharing and commenting there. And that will raise the numbers of impact in that network, and the algorithm will pick you up and you will get higher in any kind of recommendations whatsoever. So it's a good idea to not throw your artwork all over the internet, because then like it's everywhere, what's the point of liking and sharing it or anything? And also, of course, don't forget that just posting amazing content in a network is not gonna do a lot if people just don't know that you're there. That means that you have to go through that network, say on Instagram or on DeviantArt, and actually look at other artists' artwork. That's something that is many people just forget to do because you're so immersed in your own thing that you do and you forget to look at other people. This is a social network. You have to make an impact for other people so they would just know you exist there, and they will visit you in response and you will gain audience happens just because people will actually know that you exist. And you can't do that if you try to spread your artwork on 10 networks. It's much easier to build that in one network. So yeah, that's just a thought that I've got somewhat recently about this whole thing, and I thought I should share it. Basically, I'm literally answering the comment, right? Alright, let's move on to the other people's comments from the previous episode of Reading Comments. I also like your bald head. Thank you. I need to cut the sugar too, but soda is my huge downfall. I know it's bad and I know I'm just drinking empty calories, but my brain can't handle the truth apparently. Yeah, thing is about sugar, it feels like it's impossible to give it up while you're still eating it, but once you give it up for at least a week, you will forget about it at all. It's like an actual drug. You have a withdrawal period, and after that, you don't care about it, like you actually gave it up. So if it feels like it's a nightmare to stop eating sweets, it's only gonna feel like that for 1 week tops. After that, it won't matter to you at all. That's like 100% guarantee. Great to hear improvements in your lifestyle coinciding with the channel's growth. Yeah, it kinda comes in waves, the channel growth and the mood thing as well. Like February was kind of heavy, but it's probably the nicest heavy period I've had in the last many years. Like I still managed to produce videos regularly and everything, even though I felt not super motivated because of the whole winter. I think the main problem of winter is that you mostly keep your windows closed and you don't have any fresh air inside, and that impacts you a lot. You never feel unproductive when you come home from breathing fresh air for a couple of hours. You will always be motivated. It's only when you're sitting at home and breathing in the gross air of your furniture that may make you feel down. You may be hungry, you may have lack of sleep, but if you're breathing fresh air for an hour, you're gonna be able to actually do things, which is really awesome when you actually know it and use this thing. Is there any style of art that you've seen another artist do that you want to try yourself but haven't yet? Yeah, I actually want to try neo-expressionism. I hope it's called the same way in English as it is in Russian, but that's a thing that is like a super modern, crazy, it's almost like a literally horror photoshopped paintings. They're like pure paintings, they're painted, but they have effects of photographic glitches in a way, or blurries, not necessary, and it's just always a creepy horror, like really modern one, even though it's not exactly the kind of art style that is popular right now. It's been popular maybe 50 years ago, I'm not sure, I don't learn things ever. I don't know many facts about it, but neo-impressionism is super awesome, and it's different from what I do because it doesn't just go for the realistic rendering or anything. It does have a lot of richness in the color and just the coolness of the art style. It has really cool kind of gammas sometimes. They're like fresh and new. You see that this is not classical art style. This is something more of a modern stuff. And it's just kind of awesome and sometimes really creepy. Like they're sometimes literally horror paintings. So yeah, it's sort of like a slight mixture of realism something with abstract touch, but there's like a nuance to it that I can't describe easily, but you just take a look at the actual artwork and you will understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, we'll eventually go for something like that after I will satisfy my need for all this realistic rendering, because it's definitely not a thing that we have to stick to. I probably will always be going for some kind of rich artwork. I won't be doing some kind of super flat stuff. Like I won't do cartoon, like absolutely cartoonish stuff like with outlines and sharp shadows. To a certain extent, like as just a concept drawing maybe, but not as a full something that I want to tell an idea with. And neo-impressionism is really in that kind of area where it's still rich, but it's already crazy enough to be something very different. Okay, so I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, but I honestly can't recommend the iPad Pro enough. Yeah, I know, I already got one. This is literally the first time I talk about it, but yeah, I've got iPad Pro 2nd generation, the 2017 one, 13-inch, some time ago, like 2 weeks ago or something. I've been working on it quite a lot and it's really amazing. This is the first time I have display device that I can draw on without pretty much any need for a keyboard, and I'm actually as fast as I am with a keyboard. Being the insane maniac about hotkeys that I am, I always have my own layout of hotkeys and I use them, I really have an impression that I'm like 10 times faster than most artists are usually, because I really utilize the hotkeys a lot, like I'm insanely fast. I really noticed that when I was trying to use iPads with the keyboard without actually understanding at first that I don't need it if I use things properly on the display. I was trying it and most apps, or not most apps, Procreate doesn't have custom hotkeys option. You can't set up your own hotkeys layout. And because of that, I was really struggling, like I was barely ever using any hotkeys. And because of that, I noticed I almost can't paint. This is actually a subject for a different video, like a separate video. The importance of hotkeys if you want to paint the way I am is tremendous. Because the way I push the edges around on all the objects by quickly picking up different colors and changing the size of the brush, these are the two things, changing the size of the brush and changing the color by picking it up from the canvas or from the constantly present color rectangle, which is, by the way, something that Procreate lacks for now. All the menus are always pop-ups, so color rectangle, it's disappearing every time. You're one extra click away from it. This is really bothering me at the moment. But yeah, like, the way I use hotkeys, it makes me, like, a bit crazy fast. I didn't really realize it after such a long time of using them, that most people are actually a lot slower about picking up things and choosing colors and changing the brush size or zooming in. I'm like, it's like the extension of my hands. I'm so fast with that. It looks crazy if you just look at the way I paint in real time and actually realize what I press all the time. I press hotkeys on the pen and on the keyboard so much, so frequently, that without it, it's a huge difference. And by the way, the problem with the Apple Pencil is that it doesn't have any side buttons. On Samsung Galaxy Tab S3, the pen has one side button that you can get control of after you remove the bloatware of that popping up menu of that button that they for some reason decided to only use the button for. You can actually use that button for picking up color from the canvas or maybe something else. On Apple Pencil, there is no button like that, but on iPad Pro, there's another benefit of it, is that they have this awesome touch plus pen combination that none of the Wacom devices and none of the Android devices have, because Windows and Android have a very segregated system of touch and pen. When pen is hovering over the display, it's like taking over the cursor of the system, and touch is completely ignored. So you can't kind of like draw and like at the same time change the size of the brush without actually completely removing the pen from the display. And that's a huge difference from what iPad has, because I actually draw and I can undo without looking at this left side, or hold like Alt button, not Alt button, there's like a special button that makes your clicks turn into a color picker. So it's like an actual custom keyboard right here, because it feels like a keyboard in a way that you don't have to remove one thing from the display to use the other thing. It's a simultaneous thing, and it's crazy convenient. There's a lot more nuances about the whole touch and Apple Pencil way of working. There are some benefits and some downsides on it, but I will definitely make a separate video about the iPad Pro, my experience in it, in the nearest future, so yeah. Let's talk about it then. Boro, I like starving and working. You cannot be an actual human. Yeah, that's a thing. That's actually the way humans used to live forever before the actual civilization kicked in. Because back in the day, people only worked when they were hungry, so they were hunting. They were hunting hungry. So that's actually the way your body is supposed to work, which is sort of one of the important sides of the intermittent fasting practice. 57,000. Last time I checked, we were just 5,000. Well, you were gone for a while. That's like at least a year ago, probably more. And right now we're actually already at 69,000, which is really funny if you're like 12 years old. I've seen loads of smaller channels get awesome screen tablets from XP Pen, UG, and Huion for free just to review them. It's weird you're only getting non-screen one. Your content is fire. Yeah, thank you, and actually this is what happened in the last month. We've got 2 drawing displays used to review, which was awesome. And also I kind of got tired of it, so I'm gonna try not to review a lot of stuff in the nearest future because I don't know, I just wanna actually start painting and get really used to just one device and stop switching back and forth, especially with the whole mobile stuff that I'm also trying out right now. So yeah, I'm 100% happy with this Gammon PD1560 right now, so yeah, I'll try to stick to it for a while. Even though some developers and the web store people are trying really hard to send me more stuff. Your wooden reference figures pose gave me a laugh. Yeah, by the way, this is Bernard, and he's my new favorite idiot. This kind of figurine, by the way, I have no idea. This is like, you know, essential kind of thing that is associated with the artists or something, right? This is basically a thing for artists. But it has like the worst anatomy. I don't really understand the point of it. Not just in details, the proportions and the place where the legs start is insane. It has nothing to do with the human. So there's no use to it but to make fun of it, making it dab or run like a ninja from anime. Also, by the way, Bernard literally has a stick up his ass. So yeah, that's our new guy right here. So yeah, I guess this is it. Sorry if I missed your question if you asked one, but I spent a lot of time talking on this, and the video is gonna be probably pretty huge, so yeah, feel free to repeat your question or ask a new one under this video for the next episode of Reading Comments. And I thank you for watching if you did. I guess you did if you're here. Leave a like and subscribe, tell a friend. Ask your doctor about intermittent fasting. Do whatever you want. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! Boo!